Hey there, welcome to my lazy review of the new film called Knights of the Zodiac, and I'm home for the weekend, so I get to use my old recording equipment, and I'm happy. So, like so many films this year, I didn't hear about this film at all, and I was checking my Regal app, which I keep talking about since, it's so many free movies and it's one low price, and I milk it for everything that's worth. And I was checking out for new films, and it says Knights of the Zodiac. I see the trailer, and I was like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
And after the trailer, I texted a buddy of mine. I'm like, dude, look at this new thing called Knights of the Zodiac. And he's like, hey, have you ever seen the anime? And it's based on an anime from back in the 80s. And no, I never heard of it. My generation in the 90s, basically Dragon Ball Z, you can love it or hate it, but DBZ kind of hit the Western front. And that was something everybody saw. So, but some good old Sprite Zero. And I'm trying this new bottle of something out here. And it's called Western Sun Blueberry Flavored Vodka. Let's see how this goes down. Yeah, Knights of the Zodiac, I was intrigued by the trailer based on the anime. When I do my review, I can tell you that I never heard of the anime. I've been talking about this with some people online. Apparently, it's based on something that even Netflix has taken. I don't know anything about it. So my review is going to be based on not knowing shit about the source material, but how I felt about this film, okay? Let's try this Blueberry Western Sun Vodka. And then let me get into this movie about knights and Cosmo. I'm not joking. Not the Cosmo dog, but Cosmo. It's okay. Let's try this, okay? Pretty good.
It tastes so good.
So, Knights of the Zodiac. Did I like it? Should you go see it? Would I recommend it? Blah, blah, blah. I'm home having a good time with some good old blueberry vodka. But before we talk about it, I have an intro that I want you to enjoy. You ready? Swear it keeps tasting better. Okay, so how does this film start off? We have Sean Bean, and truth be told, when Sean Bean's in a movie, I'm not even sure what the character's name is. It's just fucking Sean Bean. Let's go with that, all right? Now
that's just typecasting.
He's narrating, and what happens in different movies is, in so much mythology, gods existed, and especially the goddess of Athena. Now, when people think of Athena, they think that she's only there for the goddess of wisdom. However, she's also the goddess of war, and if she wanted to, she could wipe out the human race, but she chose not to because gods and stuff. Now, we see this very big wide shot of Earth, and these two knights are fighting, and it's this big mid-air battle sequence, and the CGI is really cool looking, and it's better than anything Marvel has been putting out in the past fucking 5 years. One of the knights has this little baby inside of his arms, and it's Athena, who's been reborn into a human body. So, sweet baby, Athena.
Dear 8-pound, 6-ounce, newborn infant Jesus.
Sean Bean discovers her, he adopts her as his daughter, and he raises her, and then about 18 years later, we're introduced to this character called Seiya. Seiya is 18, young, good-looking, he's smart, in great shape, he's everything I wish I could be.
I think you're an ugly man.
Seiya is doing some basically cage fighting, and then we get to meet the other character I forget his name, but it's just Nick Stahl, and I was like, holy shit, there's Nick Stahl, he's got a beard, and I haven't seen this guy since fucking Terminator 3, and kudos to him because the guy is pretty fucking built, and I was like, alright dude, I'm impressed, hats off. In all seriousness, Nick Stahl is called Cassios. Him and Seiya get into a fight, and he's whooping Seiya's ass. But Seiya's having these flashbacks to when he was a young man, and apparently he had this hidden power, which happens in these kinds of films, but we'll get into that later. He has this hidden power, this hidden potential, and he winds up unleashing a portion of it on Cassios during the fight. And out of nowhere, you're like, oh shit, it's about to get real.
Shit just got real.
After the first fight between Cassios and Seiya, which I did like by the way, the choreography was very well done. Every single punch is impactful, you can feel it, you can hear it, and then Seiya runs away. He runs into Sean Bean, and Sean Bean's like, hey listen kid, you need to come with me because my ex-wife is here to kidnap you. And who the hell's your ex-wife? And I'm a nobody. His ex-wife is played by Famke or Famke.
Jean?
The first Jean Grey, and she's still fucking hot by the way. And he's like, listen kid, my wife is here to kidnap you. She doesn't care if you believe me or don't believe me. She's gonna pick you up, and fuck it, get into the car. They get into the car, and we have this first chase sequence, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the special effects are kind of like maybe upper sci-fi movie special effects. Not the best by any means, but whatever. The chase sequence is doable, and at the end, what they do is they knock the kid out with this drug and stuff into his neck, and he passes out. He then wakes up inside the super, uber, whatever, futuristic jet, and this jet can, do stuff like instead of going forward, up and down, and they wind up going to Sean Bean's island. And then he has to tell the kid, listen, Seiya, my daughter is the goddess Athena. She's been Athena reborn, and you are a knight of the Zodiac. And Seiya's like, yeah, dude, bullshit.
Bullshit.
And now Seiya, he gets to meet Sienna, and Sienna is Athena reborn. And of course, Seiya doesn't believe in this crap, but during breakfast, guess what? Sienna starts glowing blue, her body's shaking, the whole fucking house is shaking, and then all the blinds come down, and after seeing this for himself, Seiya's like, okay, now I'm a believer. And she's like, yeah, you know, whether you want to believe this or not, you are a knight of the Zodiac, and he's not the biggest fan of trying to help her out, but kind of has no choice. So now we get introduced to our character called Marin. Marin is the trainer. She could be the Obi-Wan Kenobi, she could be the Kung Fu Master, she could be whatever you want her to be. I find her to be a very interesting character because she's one of them characters where she goes by mannerisms and body language, because the entire time we see her in this film, she's wearing a mask, and the mask is silver. So we do hear her voice, but we never see her facial expressions, and it's pretty cool. Now, this is something that is very basic, and it's something that, guess what, in the West, we don't see that often anymore. It's basic storytelling 101. It's not anything new, not anything inventive. And yes, Seiya doesn't believe in himself. He has this hidden power, hidden potential, and guess what? He's constantly failing. He's constantly fucking up, and she's training him to get better. And imagine that, you know, a character that's not perfect at everything, that doesn't do everything the first time, that constantly makes mistakes, and he's constantly holding himself back because when he was younger, all these flashbacks of his older sister were stopping him from getting his true potential. And eventually, you know, Famke's character there, whoever, Sean Bean's wife, she kidnapped his sister because she thought that his sister had all this power, but it was him the whole time. So to say the least, you know, some people, hey, you know, montages are montages, but who doesn't love a good training montage?
Even Rocky had a montage.
And that's pretty much it, boys and girls, because I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but sufficient to say that if you're expecting something different, something new, you're not going to get that here. But I will give them credit because over here in the West, we're too busy trying to subvert expectations. This doesn't happen since this is based on an anime. It's very basic, very one note, and I'm fine with that. It's a little old-fashioned, and a lot of us, well, we just miss a little old-fashioned.
People might just need a little old-fashioned.
My overall assessment of the movie is, yeah, sometimes some of the dialogue and some of the acting is kind of cheesy and kind of campy. And as I'm watching it, I kept thinking about the 90s Mortal Kombat film. And obviously, at the time, the CGI was pretty cool, but it aged kind of poorly. But, you know, Christopher Lambert and Shao Kahn and these guys, there's a campiness and charm to that film that I could go back and rewatch to this day. This feels pretty much like that, but just with, you know, obviously updated CGI and special effects. But hats off to these guys because the battle scenes and the fight sequences are very fucking well done. Damn sure in the third act, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but to say the least, two knights go at it and these guys are destroying a lot of shit, a lot of destruction. And even the bad guys at the end of the film, you know what? Maybe these guys weren't so bad because, you know what? A wise man once said that good and evil is a point of view.
Good as a point of view, anyway.
In the end, the three questions for you guys always is, did I like it? Should you go see it? And should you pay full price for this film? And truth be told, I did like it. I did have a good time. However, I would say this is a very good matinee film. And if you can't catch a matinee, by all means, give this film a rental and give it a try. I'm not saying full price because it is very simple and it's not something that's going to change the genre. It's not something I would say rush out and see it. But it is a very good matinee film. Sit down, have some popcorn, or maybe sit at home one day, and I think you would enjoy the simplicity of the film and the action. And truth be told, based on what I read since seeing the film, there is more anime out there, there is more stories, and this entire first film is about Athena. And guess what? Athena isn't the only god out there. There is, and there should be, more to come. So yeah, pretty fun film for what it is, and I had a good time, I'm not going to lie. So, as always, hope you liked my review and the simplicity of my review based on a simplistic movie, okay? So, as always, I have to do one thing, and that's check my watch, always low on time, and then tell you about, you know, my new job.
I hate my job.
Knights of the Zodiac. If you ever see this and you were a fan of the anime and you think it sucked, let me know by all means. My buddy, he watched the anime, he liked it, but maybe your opinion is different. I'd love to hear about it. And after seeing this film, I want to take my kid and now go back and watch some of the anime and, you know, test it for myself, all right? So let me grab Bender and drink some more of this great blueberry vodka with Sprite. You ready?
This calls for a drink.
Damn sure would recommend that. Okay, guys, I'm going to edit this stuff, and as always, head back to work.